Hello, everybody. I'm Grandmaster Joel Benjamin. Welcome to ICC's Banter Blitz. This is our little monthly get together for fast games, 3 minute with 2 second increment. That should be what you're challenging at, and it should be regular chess. So I see that we do have some challengers starting to line up. People are a little bit slow today. Uh, I don't know. I feel a little bit sluggish myself. It's been very, very hot on the East Coast. It's been 95 and up almost every day, but we had a bit of a break in the heat wave today. So maybe we're all coming back to normal around here. But as I often say, the first game is often the best chance to get me before I get warmed up. So sometimes it's good to get in there first if you can. But we should have some fun today, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, challengers lining up, and the first game should begin pretty shortly. Um, I'm on a little bit of a good roll. I went to the U.S. Open, and it ended badly for me. But oh, yeah, Nejmatine, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I know what you want. You want me to play E5? Go ahead. Um, but I was playing some pretty good chess. Okay, so I know what he wants. He wants to play a lot. Oh, that's not a Latvian gambit. Okay, fine. He played it's the King's Gambit. He doesn't want to play. He's a Latvian Gambit a tempo up. Okay, all right. Well, I'll play Gambit then. Let's see. Somebody told me this is a pretty good way to play against the King's Gambit, so let's try it out. I don't know. I have to say, I faced very few King's Gambits in my career. I'm not sure why, but um, I probably faced the Vienna more often than the King's Gambit for whatever reason. Like I said, don't know why, but I don't know. Okay, well, we'll just wing it. See how this goes. All right, let me attack that piece. Attack two pieces. He can defend them, but maybe that's not that great a move. I don't know. Bishop takes knight. Because he could have played queen e2 and defended them. Maybe that was just simpler rather than giving up the bishop. Queen f3. Okay. Maybe he's up to no good with that move. But where's his knight going to go? His knight can go to h3, I guess. Get out like that. I got to get my knight into the game. All right, let's just do that. In a lot of these openings, when in doubt, the right thing to do is often just to develop your pieces quickly, in an open position. In open position, fast development is pretty important. So knight h6 gets me closer to castling. Both sides still not ready to castle, but I'm looking with that move maybe to get a hit with bishop g4. I think I will utilize that move just to, get a piece out with tempo. Usually a good thing. Of course, that e5 pawn was hanging, and there's something to be said for maybe just taking it, but I think that I kind of want to, get pieces out quickly. But here I'm actually going to take a step back because I think that this pin could be useful. It also defends the pawn on d4, but I'm just going to set up this pin because I think that will ultimately gain me some time because he's going to have to worry a little bit about that pin. All right, so I could play rook d8 or stuff like that, but again, I think I'm just going to default to developing quickly. Uh-oh. What's he going to do about his queen? His queen's attacked now. I think that was a fatal misstep, Nej. I think that one's gonna hurt. because pawn takes queen, bishop takes queen. That's what a pin is about. He got the knight out with a check, so couldn't take the queen. But the problem is to take the knight first. So the extra tempo in the Latvian gambit didn't seem to help this time. Mm, queen a6. All right. Okay, I don't see why not take that pawn. Save my bishop. Might as well take a pawn while I'm at it. Don't worry about the e-file. I'm going to castle next move. I could play knight g4 if he plays d3. Not that I need it because I can let him take the knight, but I think I will play knight g4 anyway, just because I have some ideas that it might wind up the game with that knight getting into the attack. Queen b7, yeah, but castling defends everything, so that's that. So looks like I'm going to get off to a solid start here, but there are many games to go. Uh, This is queen trap. No, I'm not going to worry about that. Just bring guys into play. Rook a8, extra safe, just so that rook isn't hanging. F7 defended. That might lose more material. That might lose more material. Well, in any case, even if I, oh, well, at least take it with the rook. At least then maybe he would get the piece back. But okay, still be down one. Uh-huh. Oops. I went to move my knight and I grabbed my queen, but actually, maybe better move my queen anyway. Rook f7, that's defended, right? Yeah, and this is a big mate threat, so that's not defendable, is it? All right, thanks, Nejmadinov. 1, 2, 3. So far, so good. Tried to surprise me with playing f4 and a move early than he usually does. Okay, Arnav 311004. I think I played him before, and I was wondering about that number because it's similar to pi, but not quite, right? So he's going for King's Indian. Maybe I'll play some kind of English. It's one of those systems you can make a lot of automatic moves. C5 is probably the best way to play against it. E6. So it seems like he wants to play d5. So maybe it'd be a good idea for me to get d4 in first. Hence h3. That's because otherwise bishop e3, knight g4 could be annoying. Okay, well the book is that you're supposed to be concerned about d4 when the pawn is on e6 because the d6 pawn can become a weakness. So that's how I'm going to play it. But you never know. Sometimes black can get a dynamic position with the pawn on e6. He can try to play some kind of hedgehoggy type thing. Knight takes knight. So I guess he wants to play b5 directly. That could be a little risky because of the bishop on a7. The rook on b8. It could be vulnerable to certain attacks. But for now, he's being a little conservative here. I I like this queen e2. It's an all-purpose move. It not only defends c4, but maybe threatens e5. Yeah, so is e5 a threat? Um, Also, knight d5 coming into play. But let me just start with this move. And then all these options become strong, e5 and knight d5 both. But that's a typical thing to look for when you have the rook and queen lined up like that, and a piece on c6, knight d5. I won an early game in the U.S. Open this year with that kind of stock tactic. And they say the threat is strong in the execution. Well, here, White has these two ideas. So e5 looks like that's defending against rook d8 is defending against e5, but it's not really defending against knight d5. And you know, I'm gonna go with that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it's that strong here because there's various other things hanging, but it's pretty thematic, and I don't feel like spending another move preparing. Although I could have played something like Queen E3, threatening Bishop B6, and then Knight D7. I could play it in that position. Maybe that's actually stronger. Hard to say. Actually, I might have miscalculated something here. Yeah, I miscalculated that. My queen is undefended. Yeah, so it looks like maybe I'll play down a piece. Maybe I'll just play down a piece. Oh no, well, yeah. I think I'm going to play down a piece here. Um, yeah, all right. I'll just play down a piece in the ending. I'll get a couple pawns for it. That wasn't the smartest thing that I've done, but in theory, uh, I should be able to defeat my opponent here nonetheless. So let's. Okay, I just noticed another thing. Another thing. See, early in these games, I often overlook things. Yeah, see, another thing I'm overlooking. All right, so I'm just going to back up here. I'm going to stabilize the position and then, I don't know, try to win on time or something. Yeah, 95. See, that's one of the situations where I'm so busy talking that I forget to look. I forget to look. hmm If I can stabilize a little bit in the next couple moves, I could have a bit of, cause another problem is I have a bad bishop as well. Yeah, that really just worked out poorly for me. Hmm. I just like to get in B3 and F3. Okay, that doesn't bother me too much because the knight isn't doing so much over there. So let me defend this guy. I mean, there's 2 second increment, but it's going to be a little bit of time factor. Okay, let's stabilize that. So now at least I have a chance to avoid some trades. Okay, let's bring the king. Let's bring the king some more. Okay, I think I'm in a little bit more business than I was before, but still a long way to go here. But that's interesting. Go e6. Go e6. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but try it. Actually, I'm the one who's really low on time, right? Okay. I'll have to just be clever here. Yeah, I wish I had not blundered that piece. Still, if I get my rook in, that will be nice. He's calculating. Oh, he could have played knight a4, which would have really toasted me, but now I can keep going. I'm not saying I'm not losing, but um, hmm. Should I save my bishop? Yeah, I'll save my bishop. Oh, didn't see that. Okay, I'm not mated though. Not mated. Now he's just giving me checks. Oh, he's not just giving me checks. He took off an important pawn. All right. Now this comes down to the time. Go pawns. Go pawns. Quick, quick pawns. Problem is a 2 second increment really makes it hard to flag somebody. But I'm making some progress here. I'm making some progress. I might just do it. Woohoo! I think I managed to get those pawns through. Wow. Heart stopper. R9 311 is I four, etc. I really had to swindle there. Yeah, King C3. I was just hoping you wouldn't see Knight A4 check, King B4, Rook B5 check. And once my Rook goes, I can't. There's no swindling chances at all. That was a close one. Sometimes I just assume my opponent is giving me some tactic, but you got to check to see. Even if a player doesn't see it coming, doesn't mean that they don't have a defense. So I got a little complacent there and I lost a piece. Oh well. Lesson learned. So we've got Abbas Child, and we are contesting a Sicilian. I usually don't play a6 in that position because knight takes c6, bishop d3 is kind of an annoying line. But if white doesn't play it, then black, can play with options of avoiding the move queen c7. Like the super safe king h1, it was possible to play f4 in that position, but like I said, super safe. All right. So this is fairly standard territory. Wow. Bishop takes f6. And quickly, too. That's a head scratcher. He could have just played bishop f3 to defend. And the bishop on d4 is a beautiful piece. To give that up for a knight, and then my bishop takes over like that. All right, well, I'll give it my bishop back, but I think I'm going to win some material soon. Maybe I could have delayed that exchange a couple of moves, I guess, because oh boy, I mean, my last move was rook d8. e5 is walking right into this capture. This is one of those games where I just played completely normal moves and didn't do anything, and White's play was self-destructive. So there was no pressure to play bishop takes f6, and then sometimes it's important to make sure that you don't do any harm to your position. That you just make solid moves. So here I'm now winning 2 pawns in the center, and White still has these weaknesses on the queen side. So this is going very smoothly. I mean, he might be able to get back that pawn on f4, but well, now I'm going to move it to f3. So he's not getting it back. The pawn that starts off at d6 is going to end up opening up his king side. It's gonna hurt a little bit. Yeah, now he's really on the defensive. Let's pump that rook in to the 7th. There is a little trick here of queen g3. If I take on g2, rook takes g2, I have to be aware that he was threatening mate. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah, too many oversights in that game. All right, Abbas Child, but thank you for competing. So that was a little bit of a breather after that heart stopper the game before. Indiana Fats, the successor to Minnesota Fats of billiards fame. So this is the Floor Mykonos variation and this popular variation. I once had a game with this line, not e5 I think, but where I think I won in about 15 moves. My opponent castled queenside, and I got some kind of stock sacrifice over there. It's just pretty cool. All right, so now I'm trying to get an e4. Uh, I mean d4. I think I said e4, and I meant to d4. I got an e4 quickly. I'm not sure if I did the move order right, because maybe I should have saved the tempo by delaying castling, because then bishop g5 would be a threat. Okay. All right, not bishop h7, king h7, knight g5 because he takes it. Standard. He's got some pressure on d4. Mm, all right, I'm going to start by hitting that bishop, chase that bishop away. I could possibly try to win a pawn on e5, but I'm not so so big on giving up that bishop on e4, which is really great in the middle of the board, controlling everything. Just to play bishop takes c6. He'd probably take with a pawn. Yeah, that I don't like. Now, bishop g5 still looks like it's not on, but I don't know, maybe push again. Because now the knight maybe has to go a little offside. I'm looking at bishop g5, but I think it's not on because he takes it. Ah, okay, pins. But I'm not sure that that pinning bothers me too much because then I can move my queen out of the way. Um, yeah, now I attack the knight. So I don't think that pinning move helps because I get my queen out of the other pin. And now if he takes my knight, then I have to think about how I want to recapture. Do I want to be very ambitious and take with the pawn and then take the h7? Well, I'm not sure that I'm necessarily going to take h7. Ah, well, I think now I'm going to take h7, or even stronger. Yeah, this is even stronger. Bishop g5. I think in the end. See, that was the problem with the rook d8 is it got me out of the pin. So now there isn't the queen g5 defense or the bishop takes f3 defense because my queen isn't hanging. So now this move, which I kind of angling for from the moment I played d4, now it looks like a problem. Well, actually, the queen is trapped. Well, no, the queen isn't trapped. There's a6, but black probably has to give up the queen here, but can't get a lot of pieces. Bishop f3, maybe bishop h7 check I would throw in, and then take the queen. Yeah, that would be a problem. Yeah, so bishop g5 really is just ending the game. It's kind of funny. A little detail like that takes a normal looking position and suddenly it's just over. Um, but instead of knight a5, he could have taken an f3 first, and then the position wasn't so clear. It was still pretty tight game. So, all right, I don't see any reason not to grab this pawn on h7. And then maybe I'll just come back here, offer trade. And here I think I'll play c4 because it not only defends the pawn on d5, but also keeps his knight out of play. I have an idea to play queen c3 and maybe swing the queen over. So basically, well, he's down a queen. It's not surprising his position is going to collapse. That's just pretty standard. Um, and I'll do it this way. I mean, there's a lot of moves. G4, queen. Could have taken e5, whatever. Yeah, this I anticipated, but now I move my queen somewhere. Yeah, okay, we'll go in, and that's going to cost more material. Yeah, and then he can try to mate me on the H file, but he will not succeed. Okay, where is he going? Rook c1, because I really just want to chop something, get rid of one of those minor pieces. There's so much extra material that a good way to finish off is, just to take the bishop or the knight or whatever. Where's that going? Okay. I don't have so much time. Well, he doesn't have any time. So, in fact, he's losing on time. Yeah. So, yeah, tight game, but then one mistake. Sometimes you make a very big mistake, and that's the end of the game. So, Bishop G5 just to really kind of put the position out. Okay. So, J Russell 2 is up. So I just sent him into the tank with c5, which was my planned first move against anything. But knight f3, I don't know about this move order. Is this one where I can expect to just take over the center? I think so. All right, let's let's play e5, see what happens. I think that it should be good for black, but I'm not gonna ponder it. I'll just go ahead and play it. Yeah. Now I think the easiest thing is to attack that knight on b5 first, and not play d4, knight d5. So I think that's the key. Also, with the knight and f6, bishop on g5, same idea works. I saw that. I think I saw that exact position in I.A. Horowitz's Pitfalls, Traps, and Swindles. One of my favorite books from my childhood. Still love that book. So maybe at some moment I'll take that knight on a3, but probably not in such a hurry to do it. So here, being ahead in development is not necessarily a great thing, as the knights are getting pounded about a bit here. But still, I don't have my pieces out, so it gives White some hope that he can kind of play against these pawns. Yeah, I certainly can take that knight, but I don't really want to take that knight. What do I want to do? I want to attack that knight. I maybe should play f5, but I don't want to make too many pawn moves. Yeah, I'd rather chase it away with the bishop. Check, bishop d2 takes. Yeah, I think I should move the bishop. But yeah, maybe White's position isn't that bad, but I don't think it's that great either. Takes. Um, I don't have to take the knight yet. Takes. I could have taken an a3 and taken with the queen. Ooh, you see here I was slightly cagey and not taking this knight right away, which would have made my intentions a little clearer. Yeah, he needed to play. He needed to play bishop d3. I think he just forgot about this. It's going to cost him a rook in the corner. That's going to tickle a bit. That's going to be a little tickle. Bishop e3, and not going to mess around. Just bring the knight right back out. Consolidate my material gains, like so, like Wesley. Now rook c8, actually I could end up losing the piece back, so yeah, so I better just move it. If he comes in the rook, I might just give him a pawn. I might just give him a pawn, or let me give this check, see where it goes. Yeah, the check was kind of irrelevant, wasn't it? But all right. It didn't hurt. All right, I'll just castle. It was even simpler to bring the bishop to g6 because that would have prevented his knight from going anywhere. But yeah, this knight is not doing anything anyway. All right, let's just start offering trades because my rook will end up getting a free move somewhere if he avoids a trade. I'll just follow him. So the idea is I picked up this free move, rook e8, for what it's worth. And hit him with a knight now. And if he stays in the seventh, I think I'll just yeah, force a trade. It's pretty hard for him to avoid a trade anyway. Liquidation. It's a beautiful thing. Don't know why, but there's something I like about liquidation. I just that word, I just like that word, liquidation. Yes, I joke. Of course, I wrote a book called Liquidation on the Chessboard, so you know that I like the liquidation. All right, thank you, Jay Russell, too. We have some lovely parting gifts for you. Last time I played, there were a million guys with high ratings lined up to play me, um, which is always kind of a challenge. And here I get first 2000 plus BG 2003, who wishes me good luck, which is sporting. I never say that to my opponent before a game because I don't want him to have good luck. No, I don't want him to have good luck at all. So why should I'm not going to say if I don't mean it. I want him to have good luck in life. I want him to do well after he plays me. So I say that after the game. Good luck in the rest of the tournament. But I don't say it before. I always find that strange. But a lot of people do it. All right. So he wants to turn it into a Grunfeld. Okay. So be it. So, c6 defending it with the pawn. Usually black wants to take the knight or move the knight away and then try to hit it to center with c5 or e5. Because c6 is not really hitting in the center, I'll decide to be aggressive with my pawns and play d4. Maybe actually really the only continuation in view of c6, because d3 would probably just give a free pawn because c6 is really kind of guarding the position. a5. Well, now he's playing this kind of strangely, I have to say. So we'll just see. His d5 is indication of a player who likes to play the Grunfeld, but the next couple of moves don't look very Grunfeldy. Don't look very Grunfeldy at all. So let me just start by tickling this pawn on b5, see how he defends it. Actually, probably defended the queen c8. Maybe that wasn't so bright. Because then I can't play h3. But all right, it's not that big a deal. Whoa, he doesn't defend it at all. Wow, how about that? That's a surprise. All right, let me start hitting rook in a position where things are happening quickly. Something's a good idea to pick up a tempo. All right, now I'm going to just take the pawn because I'm still attacking the pawn on b7. I've got unquestionably better development here. See if I can use that. Now he plays queen c8, defends. Mm-hmm. So I like the idea of getting out of the pin from the bishop and hit the pawn on b7. That seems logical. Kind of playing with house money because right now I'm a pawn up. So let me hit f7. Interesting move h3, and if he took on h3, takes queen f7 and then knight g5. But probably overly fancy. Okay. Kick. No, kick. He goes in bishop b2. Then I have e6. Um, mm, 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 yeah. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So that's the idea. Is it a good idea? Not sure. We'll see. Because that bishop could become strong. I'm just hoping that I've got other things going. Now, f6, e7 would lead to mate. Yeah, this is the kind of the key variation. He takes. Should I trade queens? What am I up here? Yeah, I'm going to keep the queens on the board, actually. Okay, pump that bishop in there. I was kind of waiting for that move. Oops. Oops. Okay, BG 2003. That was actually kind of interesting game. Um, little bit of a passive approach in the Grunfeld with c6 and a5, so it seemed like the idea for white is just to go and take over the center. Cave Johnson. Okay. That is an interesting name. I'm sure there's a story behind it. Let's just do something different. My good friend Johnny Fed has played this in a few tournaments not recently. So. He's a big Sicilian guy. I think that move was maybe mistimed because now, yeah, he's just going to have to go back. It's not unusual in the Sicilian to allow knight b5 and then just pick up the tempo later. Well, I'll just play standard Scheveningen stuff. Probably I could do a little bit more with it. Just like that, f5. Okay. I don't know if that's such a good idea because it weakens that e5 square. Whoops. I reached for my knight. I almost played d5. Not really what I wanted to do. Yeah, here I have to admit I don't really want my queen on b8. Do I invest it? No, I'll just go queen c7. Okay, I kind of need to connect my rooks here, I think. Bishop g5. Okay, so he's threatening to take it. No, he's not threatening to take it. No, he's not threatening to take it. Okay. Well, this is kind of unusual. It's very rare that black doubles rooks on the f file in a Sicilian, but because f5, fe came so early, that's what I'm doing. Actually, I didn't pay much attention to it, but the knight d4 was kind of a risky move because of the open diagonal. Okay, now there should be something good here for me. Knight h5, queen b6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. Just go there. Queen h4. Uh, Something takes f3 now. What? Knight takes, knight takes. Check. Yeah, I think this is a problem here for him. I think something's going to drop. Yeah. Oh, I thought. I thought his back rank was weaker than it is. Well, maybe it is anyway. I have a plan. He's thinking a king h1, I think, was kind of the only legal move. All right. So I have three guys hanging, but I'm attacking a rook on a1. That seems like that's going to definitely be a good piece to take. Rook e1. So save something. Save a rook. Okay, I'll save this one, and then I'll take his knight, I think. Or actually, I could just, yeah, take his knight. Why not? I might come out with this, might come out of this with a lot of extra material, actually. But rook e1 was helping me. He could have gone rook g1 because now I'm going to take the knight with an attack on e1. Unless he's got something that's moving the queen. I don't see that happening. So going to come out of this with just an extra exchange. Huh? No, yeah, an extra exchange. Take this, get the rook on e1. That's actually not as crunching as it looks like it should be. And okay, we're running low on time, so got to move. But yeah, I didn't win as much material as I thought I was going to, but still, it's an interesting move. He doesn't want my pawn. He's actually playing this kind of clever for a Cave Johnson. But I have extra material here, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So where'd my time go, by the way? What is he up to with that? Queen c1. Where is he going? What is he up to? Oh, he wants that. Okay. I should be able to hit him pretty hard here somehow, but how? Okay, can I grab this pawn? I think I should be able to grab that pawn because I'm hitting g2, and I've got all my rooks on light squares. Okay, first let me just go. Oh, okay, he takes it, but he's down in exchange. It'll be routine. Let's go after the a pawn. Let's take the a pawn. Let's take the a pawn. Yeah, okay. Cave Johnson, thank you. That's an interesting game. F5 FE I think was a little bit too direct there because it just gives me some squares in the center. The dynamic duo of those pawns on F4 and E4 can often be kind of annoying for black. Pet him. Pet him. Go ahead and pet him. Okay, that's my opponent. And he's not quick on the first move. Where are you? Well, there are some days when we have a lot of aborted games. Um, Last month, I think, was pretty good, but there's our first for today. So when it's Banter Blitz Day, you've got to be riveted to your chair. You can't get up because you don't know when your number gets called. Okay, IWTGB, which stands for, I don't know, some something with personal meaning to my opponent. But I guess that looks like a British flag, so appropriate to play the English, perhaps. Okay, so this is a position that's gonna could come out very good for me if I can consolidate next couple of moves because his pawn structure is a bit iffy. But that's an if. Okay, I think I better just go there just to be safe because bishop e3, queen b6. I'm not totally sure about that. Seems better to just retreat, although maybe that takes a little pressure off. I want to get me some castling next couple moves. Okay, so he goes back, but now I've got d5 clamped, so he can't play d5, which means he's going to be stuck with that isolated pawn, and that's not the kind of isolated pawn you like. You know, when you get your isolated pawn up to the fourth rank, then it gives you a lot of space, but you know, back there it's really just kind of a weakness, whether it's on d7 or d6. So I'm just gonna develop more development. Get nice control over that d6 square. I've been having a lot of fun with the English opening lately, and you know, one thing that's you want to keep in mind about it is um, that you know most players think a lot about what they're going to do against e4 and what they're going to do against d4, but c4 is a little bit kind of an in-between move, and they often really don't know how to handle it. All right, so I got out of the pin with rook e8. I could have played knight b5 a couple moves ago. I hadn't thought about it, but it's still threatening a fork here, which looks a little bit unpleasant for black. Not that he can't defend it, but he can run into other problems, like if the rook moves, knight takes a7 maybe, or maybe knight will come into d6. Okay, well, he defended everything with that. Okay, might just take bishop pair here. Well, first I'm going to I'm just going to take a free move here with a3. Kick that. Yeah. And, well, knight. Now, this was going to go knight d6, but it doesn't win anything. And actually, I think that knight c7 is a bigger problem for black. If I'd thought of this, I might have done it with the bishop on b4, but that probably doesn't make much difference. Now if rook b8, knight d5, very unpleasant because if he takes it, then pawn takes, and that's why rook c1. Notice when he played queen c8, my next move was rook c1. Rooks love to be opposite queens because there's bound to be some kind of tactic happening that, file gets open. So it's just a good rule of thumb to put your rook opposite a queen, and there you go. Um, well, you could have saved the exchange by moving the rook, but then knight f6 obviously is very ugly for black, probably not much hope there, but this is losing a piece. So, yeah. Okay, thank you, IWTGB. I want to get better? I want to get better. Maybe that's it. I'm going to go with that. I want to get better. Or I want to do something. Get better sounds like a good thing to go with. I want to go bananas. I know, I guess. Whoa, what is this? How am I in the middle of a game? I just, my board just showed up in a, I think I played this last month. I don't know what everyone else is seeing, but I'm seeing a game, a position from the middle game against Jazram. I'm pretty sure I had this game last month. Sandra, what is this? How am I just in the middle of a game? Did we, is this, all right, maybe this is a game from last week, but from last month, but I, I thought that we played the game out. So I don't know. It's weird. Very weird. It's like we're in some kind of time loop. Do 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 do. It's very odd. Okay, so what am I to do here? Okay. It's like I don't know, he's been studying this position or something. This is very weird. Very, very weird. I just don't know. All right, let's just blast open the queen side and be done with that. This is very, very odd. So this was a kind of King's Indian attack. I'm pretty sure that I played this game last month, and I just don't really know what's going on here. But if I have to win this game again, all right, here I go. Going to have to ask Sandra later what this was all about because it's a real big mystery to me right now. Okay. Meanwhile, I don't have that much time, I see. And I don't mind playing this end game. Looks like a pretty good end game. Oh, and managed to defend everything. Oh, that was not right. Oh, that was not right. Okay. All right, maybe we'll just trade a pair of knights. Now what? Okay. It's not like that bishop can move anywhere, right? And now we start to pluck the fruit from the tree. I just have to make sure that I see that that rook was hanging there. Okay. Now let's just take this pawn on h6 because that's a quick queen. And if f5 ever happens, I take it en passant. That's good enough. Like now, maybe. Something is going to queen. Right, that one's going to queen now. Um, he's still playing. Okay. Still fighting. Never say die. All right. Get back. Oh, clever. It's a girl. That was very weird. It dumped me in the middle of a game. Maybe that game was aborted from that position before. And okay, so but it was kind of weird just seeing it just suddenly show up a middle game position. Okay, so this is Shafkat from Canada. So we have another English. The usual move is Rook E8. I guess that's because to be able to bring the bishop back. So guess I'll go after the bishop. It was a slightly careless move because by me because you have to look out for E4 when the pawn is on B4. But there I could take with the bishop, so it was okay. Yeah, I'm not so sure why. Well, I guess the general feeling is that they want to they want to have the bishop come back to F8 and not have it on A5, but it doesn't really look like it's so bad to play this position unless C5 becomes kind of a threat to destabilize the E5 pawn. Maybe that's it. Well, I have to go back and check. Because I always like learning new openings. Even after all the years I've been in chess, it's all the old favorites I have. I like to learn new things. I like to keep it fresh. So I'm always interested in learning new openings. Not just for competitive reasons, but just to learn something new, just for fun. So here, yeah, maybe there's some ideas of playing c5 somewhere to try to get the e5 pawn. Okay, so he prevents b5. Take, 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 take. Well, this sometimes a virtue in not castling, but I'm gonna just gonna do that here. Right. So he seems to be really concerned about this b5 move, but oh, I see. He wants to play his bishop back to a7. That's what he wants to do. Okay, fine. You do that. Maybe I'll break with d4 now. Oh, okay. So no, he doesn't do that. But now I think I'm going to win this pawn on c6. Why not? On e5. I mean, maybe take on c6. Well, if he's going to play bishop a7, he probably could have done it without taking. Now it's also possible to play knight takes e5 and then f5, but I'm just going to play the less complicated way, even though I don't really like giving up that bishop so much. Okay, now which way should I take? Knight takes. Bishop takes. Yeah, I think I'll take it with a knight. So the real possibility that that bishop a7 might just never get in the game. Oh, this bishop f5. Yeah. Slightly miscalculated on my part. But still, it's a very good position for me. Bishop f5, I can play e4 or d3, I think both ways. e4 is more forcing. Takes, 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 knight d7. Wins an exchange. Yes, it does. Because even if he got back the pawn, his pawn structure is totally tattered. Um, White would certainly have a great position in any case. Okay. So now just defend stuff. D4 maybe? That keeps everything pretty well defended. Queen F4, where are you going? Go back. Can I take that? Could have taken that last move, right? I didn't really need to play G3, but okay. Um, all right, let's just roll forward. Actually, the queen is almost trapped too. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think I'm actually. Am I going to take that bit? No, I'll go. F5, no. I'm just going to take the bishop. I know bishop's colors, but I'm just going to roll forward here. Roll that one forward too. Now he has other pieces that can't move. This is very funny, right? All his pieces are dead for the rest of the game. Right? He's just got dead pieces. Um, Nothing can move. Oh, he actually can move that guy. All right, my bad. Okay, fog. Yeah, I probably could have ended that sooner, but I was having a lot of fun. I did have a lot of extra pawns in the end. Yeah. Okay, shaft cat. Yeah, usually I guess that indicates why black often tries to bring that bishop back to f8. It's because it in that position it gets shunted out of play. Should key one. Should she maybe? Hmm. So not open Sicilian. So look, how am I going to handle this? Oh, I was thinking about playing knight e7, but not against that move. My pawn would hang. Well, I don't really care for moving that bishop twice like that. You can go to e3 or you can go to g5. Oh, very aggressive. Okay. All right. Counterattack comes quickly. Okay, I guess he can keep a pawn, but I'm not too concerned about that. Okay. Yum. I guess the h4 move is a little fortunate because he's not losing his knight on g5. Yeah. Bishop on g5. My bad. Hmm. Okay. On the knight a5, I don't really want to take that bishop, do I? Yeah, you never know. He's playing very aggressively, although the first few moves I didn't think were really that aggressive. But now he's kind of stepping it up. So now I have a concrete idea here to win some material. So first I wanted to unpin. So now bishop c5. I'm getting ready to either get a hit on f2 or win something with a pin. So I feel like I'm winning some stuff here. Winning some stuff. Hmm. Okay. Of course, I'm not going to take that. I'm going to try to win more material. And I think I will succeed. Okay, let's just take that guy. Looks like a pretty free rook. For lack of a better term, greed is good. Like I said, greed is good. It attacks the queen too. Oh, everything is retreating in disarray. Just pound some pieces in the middle. His knights are tethered to each other. Queen comes in. Ooh, trying to defend everything with the king. No, it's noble. Not going to work though. And we start plucking. Thank you. Should he? Should she? One. I'm never really too sure how to say these names. Maybe this should be pronunciation guide with every handle. Okay, so now we have Cap 78 red. And we'll do another English. All right. See if he can learn from what happened to the last gentleman in this position. Yeah, it takes on c3. That's not a bad idea, actually, to avoid knight d5. You play d6, which is a good move. The other plan is to play queen e7 with ideas of maybe playing d5. It's just a different approach. This is a kind of position I'm really more used to being on the black side of. This is very much in my style, but I get a chance to play white, see how it looks from the other side. Thing about the bishop on b2, it's not a great diagonal, but black does have to be alert to the fact that he does not want to open it up. He has to be very careful about ever pushing that e-pawn because he does not have a dark square bishop to fight against. Oh, two bishops for two knights. I don't think that's a good move. I wouldn't do it. I would definitely not do that. Rook b8. I think that's just wants to defend his pawn. Mm-hmm. I think I'll just back up my bishop now. You never know. I didn't fianchetto it from the beginning. Now, at some point, maybe f5. f4, I mean. The generic aggressive rook ae1 to induce panic in my opponent. Is f4 a threat? Yeah, see? Things go by. I didn't even have to play b5. It just went right back. Okay, so now here's the thing. Now I'm going to play f4 because, black needs to really kind of keep that pawn in e5. Now it's a problem. Here I don't even need to take with the g pawn. I think I just want to directly open up the center because I got him to retreat that night so that he blocked off his rook. Yeah, now I should be able to do some stuff here. F5, where is he going? Nowhere. It's going right back. This is the bishop's baby. I mean, I never get the two bishops because I'm always playing all these openings where, I play bishop b4, bishop b5. See, this I also I'm big on pawn structure. I like to make weaknesses my opponent's pawn structure, and often you have to give up the bishops to do that, or can get ahead in time, get faster development by giving up the bishops, even if you don't weaken the pawns. But well, this looks like a knight's trapped. Oh no, no, that must have been he must have grabbed the wrong one there. I'm sorry. He must have meant to play h6. Yeah, but oh well, I'm ruthless. Okay, thanks, Cap 78 Red. That's still kind of interesting strategically. Bishop takes f3. You got to really be careful about playing two knights against two bishops. The only time you can do that is if it's a pawn structure that's really kind of determined, kind of a rigid pawn structure. But if it's a fluid pawn structure at all, the two knights are usually going to get clobbered. Okay, Aristos or Rastos. That's an interesting flag. I have no idea what that is, but in this game it may not happen because no moves. Oh well, some people just aren't ready to answer the bell. You had your chance. Bionic blue. I know a bionic lime, but that would be more on the green side, so this is new for me. Okay, he is there. There we go. D6. Interesting. So it turns out to be some kind of King's Indian. He's playing my opening. Come on, that's not fair. That's not fair. I'm getting on the wrong side of all of these. Well, I get to see how it looks from the other side, you know. And rook e8. That's not what I would do though. All right, get back. Hmm. Well, I'm getting some healthy space here anyway. That's for sure. Just get some pieces out. I'm not sure how he's meaning to play this, and I don't think that he is either. I think for now he's but I just know something. Um, so I just played my random rook a d1. I just noticed something very interesting about the position, which, whoops, accidentally grabbed my rook there while I was. What if I just take the? I think he's got a problem with one of his pieces. I could have actually just played e5 last move. What did he do that was weird there? He put his rook on e8 and his bishop on d7. Yeah, so what's he gonna do? Well, now it's not only the knight is trapped, but it actually can't even move. So sometimes it's easy to overlook the big things, when you're thinking about little things, like maneuvering your pieces around, is to make sure that you have just, the obvious things covered like that. Yeah, now shouldn't be too difficult with an extra piece here. I mean, the pawn is hanging. I can't help but take it. Yeah, it could have been a kind of an interesting strategical battle, trying to squash with a space advantage, but then suddenly a piece was hanging. Thank you, Bionic Blue, playing my opening variation against me. Not in my house. All right. Fearless one. Another early d6. What is up with that? All right. Just try something different. Oh, doble finchetto. Fearless one getting all hyper modern and stuff on me. That's it. You got to bring out the pieces. Even when I'm hyper modern mode, I got to get pieces out. But the move order was slightly unusual. The way he's playing is, not so strange. Once he plays knight f6 and castles, it looks pretty normal. So I think I'm going to trade the light squared bishops and maybe try to annoy him on the light squares a little bit. Some players don't like that so much. Meanwhile, give me some time. Give me some time. Do 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 do. So, how about those Mets? Finally won a game last night. Pitcher hit a home run. Yay. All right, after 1 minute, H6. Okay, what next? Back to thinking. So let's see. Well, local players, my next tournament will be the New Jersey Open. So you have a chance to see me there, if it matters. So Fearless One is a bit pressed on the clock here. And given how much time he's taken, I'm not sure he's really that fearless. Okay. Queen c8, so I just chill. I'm tempted to play rook c1 on the principles that I mentioned before. Actually, not a bad move. Maybe an idea is to play rook c1 and b4 and then try to blast those pawns. I mean, this is just, like a very comfortable position to play for white. Rook e8. Yeah, there is a little bit of a downside to having the rook on e1, I see. That's okay. Just go here. H3 was just one of those, let's make a very quick move and not change anything, throw it back in his court. Although maybe he wants to play C5. That might be the idea behind his A6. He wanted to prevent knight B5. So, but I kind of get a chance to see what he's up to. Ah, I didn't even realize he had enough pieces on that, but I guess he does. I guess he does. Okay, so I go back. But sometimes this attack is hard to execute when my bishop is out here because it can be a really good kingside defender. I think that would be a little bit annoying on the light squares to bring my bishop out like that. Also, he's really played this game slowly. He's almost out of time. Generic expansion on the queen side. Do I want c5? That looks like a decent plan. Gonna go for c5. Thank y'all. Kind of hard to avoid dropping something when really have no time like that. It's going to artificially isolate that d5 pawn, which I have bad intentions. g4. That's a good move when you don't have any time, because you might as well go for it. Just keep grabbing. What did I say? Greed is good? Greed is good. There's never any mate. Even if he gets his queen, even if he got his queen to the H file, there would still be no mate. Okay, I'll just make that a queen. Fearless One did not play very fearlessly. It took an awful lot of time, and it's a hard enough position to play. I think sometimes you're just going to move. All right, who we got? Eisen 55 from Israel. Yeah, unfortunately, my last tournament game, I got clobbered by an Israeli in the U.S. Open and cost me a lot of money. But it doesn't look like this one is ready to play. It's too bad. So had three new opponents that weren't ready to answer the bell. But on the other hand, Chess Freak, is he going to be? Is he ready? Come on, let's get Chess Freaky. Ah, C4. Okay. All right, so it's going to be the last one. Let's hedge dog it. G3. E3, I mean. It's 95. This is actually inspired by something Shabalov did at the U.S. Open in one of the earlier rounds. I think he had a setup where his pawn was on F5. It was even a kind of Dutch, and he went knight A5 to trade off the bishop like that and weaken the light squares. It's kind of a cool idea. and then I could put this knight on d6, which usually don't have that square available because the pawn's on d6. Uh oh. Well, yeah, okay. All right, I'll take the pawn. Talk me into it. There may be some complications because my knights could be a little awkwardly placed, but pawn is pawn. Okay, I think Chess Freak was not really prepared for that pawn being taken. I think he just overlooked it. But let's see if he defended it. Maybe I'd play e5 there. I don't know. Well, let's see. Knight d6. I get the double pawns. My extra pawn is not so worthy. So um, I think that I like this idea, counterattacking. I think I'll hold on to my pawn more nicely that way. So the games flew by today. The biggest problem I had today was that second game, I think, where I dropped the piece. I erred in my combination, and then I had to kind of swindle, got in under the wire. But after that, it's actually been pretty smooth today. And feeling pretty about this. I have an extra pawn. I don't really see any compensation. So if he takes b5, I take d5. If he goes away, well, if he goes away there, um, I mean, b4 sort of structurally, the pawns are just defending each other better, but I think, well, yeah, I think c4 might be better because the queen can't go to c2. Yeah, and now he can't play e4, so he has trouble kind of supporting the pawns. And if knight c3, I can kick that. So can't play bishop d2. Yeah, so he's got to play some kind of artificial moves in order to hold everything. And then I don't know, maybe just start running this forward. How about some more unusual maneuvers? Normally, a knight would go to d7, but I didn't want to put the pawn on d6 as a knight b4. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure that I want to take that pawn on b2. Yeah, I don't really. So my last move wasn't that great, but okay. Um, yeah, the thing I was going to do is not actually very smart in hindsight. Oh, and I've really used up all my time. Okay, I just got to start moving faster. Well, that's how it is in these games. Sometimes I get very enamored, you know, with the intricacies of the game, and I talk because it's what I'm supposed to do, and then I forget to move. but always have to remember to move. So I might trade queens. Yes, I will trade queens. That kills the attack. Full stop. Makes it a lot easier to play the position for me. Also, pawn on e4 is hanging, and the a pawn. Yeah, everything's under control now. Yep, I grab that. Yeah, I've been able to do a lot of interesting things this game because no pawn on d6, the knight coming to d6. So that was kind of a fun way to end things with a little bit unusual strategy. It's kind of fun to do things differently, and over the last several years, I played so many games with e4. So it was kind of interesting to play these games with c4. And so you may have noticed that my first move was c4 or c5, except for that one game against Nejmedinov of 1-2-3, because he always wants me to play e4, e5. So it looks like I got a clean sweep this month. It's always good to know that I still got it. The 11 o'clock start time we've been doing lately, I don't know, maybe I'm slightly more tired after getting the kids off to camp, but I managed to win them all. Woohoo! And as usual, thank you to everybody uh, coming out to their own homes to challenge me, and to thank you for all the games. And those of you who didn't get to play, sorry. Those of you who didn't get to play because you weren't ready to play when your chance came up. That's too bad. This is your own fault. But maybe next month, we'll get together again in September for this. It's always fun for me, because even though you may know me as the commentator and game of the week guy on ICC, and maybe as a chess teacher, I still love to play, and it's fun. So this was a lot of fun for me, especially because they won all the games. All right, so I hope to meet up with a lot of you again next month. I'm Grandmaster Joel Benjamin, and thank you for participating in ICC's Banter Blitz. Take care, everybody. Till next time.